Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Artcasters number 479. Working our way up to the big 500th episode. And we have a returning guest on, which we'll get to in a minute. But we're going to do what we always do, kind of introduce ourselves, talk about anything that we got to promote, let people know about. I'll start off. You're on my channel, so you can find me on YouTube, where I am currently putting out new videos on how to make comics. I just kind of pivoted back to doing more comics content on this channel. And if you're a fan of what I was doing before, that kind of retro reventification, as I call it, you can find that on my new YouTube channel, which is Retro Art Lab on YouTube. So I've got two YouTube channels going on right now. Check them out. I also have my website, circworks.com, where you can find my comic book, Young and the Dead. It's a kids versus zombie adventure story. Just think Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead. This is the complete story, all in one volume. You'll find that there, as well as all the other cool stuff I have on my online store. Josh, what about you? I fixed my little window thing that I was having problems with before, but so now all the problems are on you. Oh, people can't see you. Sorry, I forgot to, since you hopped in and hopped back out, I forgot to plug you back in. So, right, go ahead. Yeah. Wait. Oh, they probably can't hear you either. So just hold on a second. If you're waiting for Josh, we'll plug him back in because he was having some technical difficulties. All right, let's see. I thought he would just pop back in. So just give me 1 second here. We should have Josh back up pretty soon.
There he is.
There he is. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
I love it. And somehow my camera just got fixed too. So, all right. Yeah, if you guys haven't yet, check out Jacob's Apartment, my graphic novel about two polar opposite roommates that find themselves drawn together in reality and in dreams, where reality and dreams start interweaving. And what's kind of like if you took Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind, put it in a blender with Ghost World. If you like that flavor, check out Jacob's Apartment. Check out Two Stories, my comic about destigmatizing hard conversations about faith and mental illness, dealing with depression and panic disorder in hand-lettered, hand-inked black and white goodness. Check that out at bookstores everywhere. And then the most exciting thing is Not Death But Love, the strange supernatural story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, my historical fiction graphic novel. That is 234 pages, is up for pre-order, and is available in September. So get out there and pre-order it. You save some money pre-ordering it. It's a nice sized hardcover, about that big. Pretty exciting. A little under 8.5 by 11 in size. And I'm really proud of it. It's probably the best visual work I've made. So check that out.
Yeah.
And
which I have pre-ordered straight up hardback on Amazon.
Awesome.
I think that qualifies me as a super fan.
Yeah. Honestly, I will say, get the hardback if you guys are out there. It's going to be beautiful. I don't think it'll disappoint. Turner does a beautiful job with books, and I'm still hoping I can negotiate some metallic on the cover. We'll see. So, yeah.
All right.
Anyhow, sorry. That was
all right.
But I'm excited. Thank you, Ken. That's really exciting. So I hope you like it.
Well, from what I've seen previewed so far, it looks spectacular.
I'm excited, and I think it'll be cool because it's going to be right next to, Caravaggio as like a historical fiction. I finally got to venture into that, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, but great.
Speaking of Caravaggio, we have our returning guest, Ken Mora, a comic creator, writer extraordinaire. So Ken, what's going on in your world? What do you got to promote, if anything?
All righty. Well, so for your myriad Italian-speaking fans, the Italian Volume 2 of Caravaggio is going to be published next month and actually my publisher there has arranged for the premiere signing to be a volume 2 to come out, and it's going to be at a museum in Naples.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and so we're going to see how big a to-do we can make it. We might combine it with a little show busy thing. We're going to see how tricked out we can make it, but maybe we'll do a little armory lecture of a 16th century armory. My buddy and stuntman Zachary Guarnaccia is who is also an armory expert of Renaissance and Baroque area armory, is ready and poised to do a demonstration and a lecture if he gets the green light. So we'll see how much the museum can accommodate. Because it's a dignified space, of course, but
Wow.
Every space can deal a little show business, I think. So.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, and that would just be kind of perfect for a release of that book too. So that sounds exciting.
Yeah, because there aren't that many dueling, brawling, influential artists like Caravaggio. So I think it's a fitting tribute to his work.
That would be amazing. Oh my gosh.
That's great. Yeah, and the timing works out that I'm hoping that it's going to happen the weekend after the Berlin film market, where I'm heading on the occasion of the thing we can't explicitly announce, but which I can mention in the Odyssey. I guess I should build to the Odyssey, and
yeah. So this is today's episode is going to largely be a little bit of a Ken story time, because he's got this what sounds like a really incredible story, and I'm not really sure how to. So I'm just going to kind of, I guess, let Ken go ahead, and we'll kind of jump in with questions or comments or anything as we go. Does that sound cool, Ken?
Sure.
All right.
So the subtitle of this story is how John Wick almost killed and saved my marriage.
Okay, I should have used that in the thumbnail. We would probably have a lot more people watching right now.
Well, so in this Odyssey, so like Caravaggio, Light Before the Darkness, years ago, it was 2005 or 2004. It got me an agent, and it got optioned, and we tried like heck for a year, me and my Dutch director, to get it made into a film. I got the most glowing rejection letters you can imagine from Canal Plus and BBC Productions, and it went nowhere. As far as it got was the desk of Johnny Depp's manager at the time, and I thought I had dreams of having it done at that time. But like a lot of screenwriters will tell the Starbucks stories abound of near misses, and that was mine up until that point. So eventually I made the graphic novel from the screenplay, and that's done really well award wise. As a first time author, it's really hard to get recognition, especially when you have the ill judgment to publish your graphic novel at the dawn of COVID, and then so there's a tip for you: try to avoid the plague, like the plague, if you can.
Global pandemic release dates. Yeah. Not recommended. I would agree with that as somebody who had a similar pandemic release. Not the best.
Right,
if
about
you can
that
see
time,
into the future, maybe wait a year.
But as a writer, I kept writing screenplays, and so you get meetings and people get you excited, and then nothing happens. So I find other ways to get things done. So like I made a short film of my Dirty Harry spoof, and that did well. And then eventually I did the Caravaggio graphic novel, and that won awards at least. And so I found some satisfaction in having things I could show and hold in my hands, and then that was an outlet, and so now that I am officially old by old school standards, now officially old is 67, but now I'm 60. I'm just now 65. So
nice.
So now I'm according to the government, and now I get my little stipend auto deposited every week. So a couple years ago, I was saying, maybe it's time for Grandpa to get out of the sandbox and give the kids a chance to play. And so I was thinking about retiring, and just my distribution method. I was thinking, maybe I'll just keep making home print my things, and then cork them in a wine bottle and just throw them off Santa Monica Pier, and see where they land. Because for all the notoriety I was getting out of them, at least I would have the satisfaction of having completed them and getting them out there. And then an old buddy of mine, Zach Lee Guarnaccia, a Hollywood stuntman for years, came to me with a project, because he spent a couple $100,000, which in movie money is not a lot, but he managed to make a quirky little script of his called The Next Big Hit, which is a buddy comedy, musical, martial arts mashup into a movie. And went to film festivals, managed to get it all union cleared, SAG, AFTRA, IATSE, got it Oscar consideration qualified, for everything, and which is an impressive feat for a small indie film. And he showed it to a buddy of his he came up with in the stunt community, who did pretty well in film, and his buddy was impressed that he could do such a thing. And it's and I had met him in 2009 in Action on Film Festival, and his first effort was, it looked like a first effort, and this one, he had raised the game on everything, production quality and everything. It was just it was truly impressive. And you can get it on Amazon Prime now. You rent it or buy it, and it's a nice, funny, quirky film. And around the time I was publishing Caravaggio, he asked me to write it, and I just couldn't do that many things, and I had a couple other graphic novels in the works, and I just and I said, Zach, I love you, guy, but I just can't do it. But maybe someday in the future we'll work on something. And so but he went off, and he's a go-getter. Did it himself anyway. His buddy took it, and he busy as all get out, but he took a look at it. And he said, Zach, I'm really impressed that you managed to do all this on a shoestring. And it's a terrific proof of concept and a calling card. And Zach says, what do you mean proof of concept and calling card? It's a movie. I made it. It's out in distribution. So he goes, yeah, no, I don't, but it's good, and I applaud you for that. And he goes, well, so Chad, the thing is, someday I'd like to really reboot this, with a great director and great cast and stuff like that. And he had shown Chad my graphic novel, because even when you're Chad Stahelski and you've made John Wick and John Wick 2 and John Wick 3 and John Wick 4, you have this desire, and he tells Zach, yeah, but my movies, I'm never going to be walking up and getting an Oscar. And Zach says, well, there are such things as action films that are also, substantive and really dramatically poignant. And then I have this friend who wrote this graphic novel about this artist Caravaggio. So he starts talking to him about Caravaggio and the armament. So he starts talking about the armaments because Chad's a martial artist and a weapons connoisseur and jiu-jitsu expert, not Gracie, but real small circle jiu-jitsu, which is what John Wick practices. And so he's working out with him, and he goes, if you want, I happen to have my buddy's graphic novel in the car. Now, my mother, when she was alive, she might have had my graphic novel in the car.
Yeah.
So Zach had this in mind for a while, I'm guessing. So anyway, I'm writing one day, and I get I see Zach because I have my phone right here clipped to the side of my computer, and I see Zach on there, and Zach is an Italian from like Italy, so so there are no short conversations with Zach, and I'm like I'm writing away, and I'm going, okay, well, so there's Zach. I'm just going to let it go to voicemail. So it goes to voicemail. A couple minutes later, Zach calls me back. And I go, okay, all right. I'm going to take a couple minutes out. I'm going to talk to Zach. I'm going to tell him I have to go back because I'm writing. So he calls me back and he goes, Ken, what's this? So he shows me a poster and I go, yeah. And he goes, you know whose office this is? And I go, no. And he's John Wick. So that was John Wick. He goes, show John Wick 2, John Wick 3. And I go, so where are you? And he goes, I'm at Chad Stahelski's office. And I go, who's that? Because who knows the director of John Wick's name? So he tells me the whole history. And then he opens the door, and on Chad Stahelski's desk is my copy or the copy I gave him of A Light Before the Darkness.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's just like, now I belong to a writers group, and in that writers group there are writers who've had meetings with agents and whatever, and we all kind of try to help each other out and stuff like that. But no one has done me the solid of like put my work in front of a top 10, maybe top 5, top 3 living director.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, the guy's as busy as heck, as you can imagine. Anyway, so a few months later, Zach comes back and he goes, "Hey, Chad, really liked your graphic novel, but at that time, I got another franchise, and that was Highlander." And he goes, God knows when he's going to have a chance to look at anything else, but he knows who you are now. And I go, well, hey, Zach, kudos to you, man. It just I owe you one. That was a real solid.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So a few months later, he has that conversation because the next big hit is out, and Chad finally gets a chance to see it. And so he says, if I get a writer to go over it and retreat it, would you take a look at it? And if you like it, would you get behind it? And Chad's going, well, I got a lot of stuff on my plate, and I just got Highlander, and I have to go to Scotland and scout locations. He goes, yeah, no, I know. I'm not saying you're going to direct it or anything, but I'm just saying, I need help, getting attachments and stuff like that, and it just to know that someone like you, or even with your production company, 8711 is behind it, and I can say that would help me open doors. And Chad goes, yeah, you get a decent writer, I'll do it. So how about the guy who wrote the Caravaggio graphic novel? And he goes, oh, that guy? Yeah, you get him to write that. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. If I like it, I'll get behind it. So naturally, that becomes my front burner thing. I've got two graphic novels I'm trying to get out, because so far in the comic world, you can't even call it a hit. I mean, I won some awards, and sure, my star rating on Amazon is stellar, and it's good, but I'm not a huge seller yet. But so I'm desperately trying to get out new work. But of course, this happens, and I go to my wife and I go, honey, I'm not a deadline writer, but I've got Comic-Con Napoli coming out in a couple months, and that's all the time I have to get a first draft of this script out in front of Chad Stahelski. And she goes, who? So,
yeah.
And and I had to do that before Comic-Con, and I've got the day before I leave to get it done. And so my wife and I, we're living in the same house, but I'm still like a practical stranger, and I'm also going nuts, you're both writers, so when you're in it,
yeah,
how weird you can get.
Yeah, the all work and no play kind of moments where you're like, you could potentially be shining material. Yeah. I know that one.
And then maybe you forget things like to drink water.
Yes.
And
totally.
and maybe sleep, and so I'm pumping out, and I'm not a fast writer, but I'm pumping out 12-15 pages a day, and then every other day I'm cutting back 5-7 pages,
Yeah.
But I'm getting this monster together, and then I'm going, I cannot turn in a first draft without having a read through. So I'm going, I need a good read through. I need professional actors. At that time, Los Angeles Performing Arts Center was kicked out of 3rd Street Promenade, and it moved just down the street here at near where I am at Pico, near Westwood, and so the person who runs it was in my writers group for a while, and I told her, I just need a staging area for a read through, and she said, the place is yours, and I said, I got to have it catered. I got to feed the actors, and so she did an amazing job of accommodating me and everything. So on top of that, I've got to cater this thing and organize it and invite the actors, and so I'm truly out there in woo-woo land doing this while I'm writing, and my wife is now really concerned about my mental health. And she's going, honey, you've got to. And I go, no, honey, I've got it all under control. No, I've got to cater the place across the street and whatever. And she's saying, let me have she's a lawyer, so she has an executive assistant. And I said, let me have my executive assistant take some stuff off your plate. So you say, and I go, no, I've got it all under control. So anyway, she talks some sense into me, takes some stuff off my plate. Now, a week before, I have an 80-page draft, which is a good size for reading. There are a couple of holes in it.
Yeah.
But it's good enough for a read through. And I should have stopped there, and just little explainers for the holes. But I think I'm way ahead of the game, And so instead, for that week, I figured, well, I'm just going to fill in those little holes, and come the reading, it'll be a blast. and I convinced myself this is the best writing I've done in my life in these past few days because it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So the reading comes around, and it's a 144-page monster.
Oh no!
These people, these poor people, the best writers I know, and the best actors I know that I can call on, I get them there, and it is, you know, I remember it as a nightmare. My wife insists that it wasn't that bad, but one of the people I had there, God bless her, Christina Wong, does this these one person shows, and she's like a Nobel Prize finalist for her 2023 show, which came back to the Kirk Douglas Theater, Triumphant Return. And she does this great narrative one woman show, and so she knows how to do this. So I have everything assigned, and just to show you how nuts I am, I forget to assign the narration. So I have all the actors assigned, but the stage directions and everything, I've got no one. So Christina says, "Oh, it's okay, Ken. I'll do that." And to her credit, she barrels through the whole thing. But
wow, because that's like, I mean, you know, for people listening who haven't checked out like screenplays and stuff, that's a chunky bit of time.
Like, no, I mean, If it weren't for her, such a pro, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing would have derailed. We would have had to read maybe like half of it.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings trilogy it and do, you know, like three read-throughs.
Yeah, but you know, somehow we managed to get through. I got some usable notes, and you know, and Jim was there, and Jim Lujan was there. You know, there was Christina Wong. There was Dominic Pulcino, who's you know, done everything from.
Yeah, we know Dominic, friend of the show too.
Yeah,
good people, man.
Yeah,
J Boys, by the way, J Boys. That's Jim Lujan if he's out there.
Yeah,
J Boys for life.
So you know, I had really good people, and you know, and I had Dan Warren, the voice actor. I had Lisa K. Wyatt, who's been on, who was on The Office. She was the girlfriend of who was it? Chuck. I forget. Anyway, so I had real actors.
Yeah, how amazing
on there. Yeah, and then so at the end, it's just like I was destroyed, everybody else was destroyed, and everyone else could tell I was just spiraling. Everybody was well fed, though. I'll tell you that, because I know how to treat my actors.
Yeah.
So everybody was well fed, but so at the end of it, you know, I was like spiraling down. Everybody's going, no, there was good stuff in there, and you know, there were some laughs and whatever. So I was just like out of it, and then my wife says I go to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Yeah, you're dehydrated as hell," and so it took me a couple days, but you know, that deadline was looming, and I had a week to get that thing into shape.
Yeah.
And so I did the one thing I did, and there's a guy in my writers group called Andrew Herlin, and he is the absolute most merciless person in the writers group. He is no holds barred, just like not even nice about it.
Yeah.
And
just
so
gives you the truth. Yeah.
And so I go to
those are
Andrew.
good. These are great things to have when you're writing. Like
you
need. I have like a couple people I know that are go-tos, my kind of script doctor kind of people, and and one of them will just brutally say, like, just cut this. Like, what is this? What are you? Where are you trying to? Where's this whole, like, all of that stuff? You need that person. as well as the people who give you encouragement and like light revisions. You need that person who's going to just give you cold cut. Yeah.
And they are gold. And he's telling me, Ken, you really don't want me to look at this. And he goes, no, Andrew, you are the one. You are the one I need to go through this. And he said, Ken, I didn't even understand it. I didn't understand a thing from the get-go. And so, I can't even. And so, Andrew, you're the one. I need you to go through it and red pen the whole damn thing. And he goes, and so he gave me the most merciless notes.
Oh,
he cursed me up and down for even making him go through it. And then, I cut like half the script. I realized it was 2 screenplays that collided in an intersection, and so I cut out one of the screenplays, and I was able to fashion an acceptable first draft for the most part. But come the day I had to go to Comic-Con, it was still not something I could call an acceptable first draft. So I go to Comic-Con, and I promised my wife that after Comic-Con, we would meet in Rome, and it would be 6 days, just me and her, no business, no calls, no nothing. And, I would make it up to her. Okay. So every minute I was not tabling or the discussion or an immediate interview, and my publisher there was fantastic in lining me up with things. I was back at the hotel rewriting that script to get it in some sort of shape, to get it to Chad Stahelski and email it to Zach before I had to meet my wife in Rome. And the last day, when I was supposed to meet my wife in Rome, it was just hours from making that cut. And so I called the front desk and I said, can I extend my check out? And I'm texting my wife something apparently incoherent because she didn't know what was going on.
Oh, no.
basically telling her I'm going to be late, but I'm going to be there. And so I finally got there. Unfortunately, it was Italy, so there was a train strike. So nobody was going to the airport on time. And I thought this was going to be my saving grace because I wouldn't have gotten there on time anyway. So I finally got a draft to Zach to get to Chad. Got to Rome late, and I thought the train was going to save me, but no. But my wife and I had a really rocky few hours. my first few hours in Rome. We managed to get through that day and have a really nice few days up until Mother's Day, and then my daughter came and spirited my wife away for the rest of it, while I went to Cannes Film Festival to learn how to put together a modern pitch deck, because now I needed to put together a pitch deck for Caravaggio to see if I could do something with that. Anyway, so I come back and I'm waiting to hear from Zach. So what did Chad think? And of course, Cavill, the star of Highlander, who was Superman.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Of course, strains his hamstring, and the movie is suspended. Insurance kicks in. Chad's back and forth from London to Scotland to LA. Has he had a chance to look at the script? No. Maybe by November, December, he'll have a chance to look at it. Of course, Cavill not only strained one hamstring. He strained the other Achilles tendon, and so just now he's getting to walk around. So it's going to be another 6 months before he's fully ambulatory. They're able to shoot some scenes. So fortunately, this is a long show, so I have to worry about making a long story short.
Yeah. No, I'm loving it. You're weaving a great story too. I think everybody in the chats is really enjoying it as well. So
anyway, so this is the unique opportunity. So finally, just a couple weeks ago, Chad gets a chance to read the script. Now, I don't know if he's going to like it, because I told Zach, because I swore that after a few runs, I would never write on spec again, which is like writing for free in the hopes that somebody's going to like your script.
Yeah.
But, first off, this is Zach, who did me a solid. Second, this is Chad Stahelski, who is, the hottest director in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
And third, I'm officially old, and how many shots at the brass ring am I going to have?
Well, and let's be clear too. It's like, this is your property. You know what I mean? So it's not quite like, a lot of spec writing is like, write our, your version of the thing that we might poach, have someone else write and not pay you for. This is like, a big. Anyhow, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I told Zach, he gave me an outline, and that was the original, and I go, I like your film. It's funny and it's heartwarming and stuff like that. And that's not what I write. It's gonna be weird, and it's gonna be funky, and it's gonna be about something, politically substantive to get your head around. And I guarantee you, whatever you think it is, it's not going to be about that. But it's going to be entertaining. And so he goes, Ken, whatever you can do. He likes your writing. Good. You do it. Okay. So I said, okay. So and it's a mashup. So it's just like it's going to be like nothing much you've seen before, and it isn't. So I have no idea how he or anyone's going to react to this oddball thing.
Yeah.
That I throw out there. So Zach says, so Chad read your script, and he loves it. He thinks it's really funny. And I had cut a lot of stuff out there, and I knew it was fast paced. I know there was action. I didn't know if any of the comedy would land, because some of it's kind of dark. So I didn't know if this comedy was gonna land. So to hear him say it was funny was the big relief.
Yeah.
So Chad said, you've got free license to say that I am officially interested.
Wow.
But here's the blessing and the curse. So you've got Chad Stahelski officially interested, and I've got a price tag, which means you've got to raise the money to afford me attached to the project. And that puts you in a whole different league. And so, but here are a couple options. You raise the money to get me, or you raise the money to get my production company and one of the directors that I'm bringing up. And that comes with a price tag too, but it's got my endorsement, and I've got associations with Lionsgate and stuff like that. I can't guarantee anything, but it's something. And Zach's going, that's all I need. And Chad says, oh, by the way, you're officially on the roster of 8711, which is Chad's production company. And so this was a huge boost for Zach, because
Wow.
they've been friends for a while, but
Yeah.
Zach wasn't officially on the roster of 8711 until now. So
Wow.
Oh wow.
this was a big boost for him. So now we're heading into Berlin with some ammunition, but and we now this is a little known fact about Chaz Stahelski. He's always wanted to direct a musical. And he's batted this idea around with one of his friends, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Okay.
So
okay.
This is just be the name drop show.
yeah.
So we're going now. There's an antagonist called in my various group called Nero ZT, who was kind of a con man Vegas lounge lizard who comes up with this cryptocurrency scheme to promote the Nero coin, which he hopes to kind of disrupt the cryptocurrency market. And unbeknownst to him, it upsets a few people who were kind of invested in the cryptocurrency market. And so when he invites them to kind of check out his scheme, he upsets a few of them. And into this mix come Dino and his cousin Sean, who make the next big hit, which is kind of, from the previous movie, this martial arts musical stage performance thing, which happens to be a local LA hit, which kind of hits it big. And now they're thinking of taking it nationally on tour. And, and Nero ZT needs an anchor thing for his new Las Vegas resort. And so they don't know that they're on a collision course with international oligarchs and crime syndicates and whatever. And that's, and mayhem ensues. And that's the basic premise of the next biggest hit, which is my reboot of the next big hit. And so that is the mashup premise of this. And so I had to get a entertainment lawyer. Now, what happened on the setup side? Now let's back up a little bit. Now, facing retirement, I'm thinking, I'm going to give, and the reason I went to Cannes to learn how to put together a big boy pitch deck, the way it's put on these days. The reason I went to Cannes is to see how it looks like these days. And they're a lot leaner and punchier than they were even a decade and a half ago when I was pushing them around. So it was a real education for me, thanks to my filmmaker friend Alexia Anastasio, who I want to give a shout out because she's really shown me how to get the most out of the film fest circuit, especially at the Cannes, Telluride, Sundance, Berlin level, which is formerly way above my head. And so she's shown me around, and thanks to her. So here I am. So I put together what I think is a pretty killer pitch deck, but what do I know? But now, usually when you're a screenwriter, you're looking for somebody at the mailroom of a big agency or whatever to kind of, wheedle your script somewhere up in the ranks, and hopefully somebody knows.
Aiming for that middleman that might stumble upon it in the slush pile. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm old, so I go, who are the top 5 entertainment law firms? So I look at them and I say, who's got the ties to people like Ridley Scott, who do period films? And I look at the top ones and I go, which one's the most indie friendly? And I select them, and then I send off my pitch deck on a Friday, which is like the worst timing, but I'm perseverating for like 2 weeks. Is it perfect enough? Mm-hmm. punchy enough? Am I getting the right verbiage? Is this the right symbolism? Is it short enough? Is it, and then finally I said, oh, screw it. I'm just going to send it off. So I sent it off to the head of entertainment at this law firm on a Friday, and I'm going, oh shit, at least I should have waited till like a Tuesday or whatever. No, but I sent it off. Okay. The next day, Saturday morning, I get a response, not from the guy's secretary, but from the guy. And he says, I'm so sorry, I'm abroad, but I saw your pitch deck, and I'm going to hand this off to a partner who'll be back to you shortly because I really like what you sent. And I go, oh, I write back, oh, thank you. I look forward to hearing from him. And I'm going, so I'm telling my wife, and I go, this guy himself actually wrote back to me the next day on a weekend, and he's abroad. So he must have really liked it, right? And she's going, it sounds good to me. And so the next day, on a Sunday morning, the partner emails me back, and he goes, oh, the entertainment head just emailed me, and I looked at her pitch like, we should get together next week, and so when are you available? I'm free Wednesday and Thursday, and so I'm going now. As it happens, I didn't expect to hear back from them for a couple of weeks, and then I expected to hear from someone way down chain.
Yeah.
So at this point, do they even know who's like attached?
It's attached. No, I'm just a writer,
right?
Who sent out a pitch deck,
right? Okay.
And the only claim is that I've won a few awards, and based on a screenplay, it's won a few awards and was once optioned, and it has a high star ranking on Amazon. After at that time it was 60 plus reviews, now it's 70 plus reviews. I mean, right. So there's something to brag about, but it's not like on any bestseller list or anything.
Right.
There's something to brag about, but I guess I nailed the pitch deck. So kudos to me for that. So it was worth the airfare to go to Cannes. Let's say that much. So I set this guy. So now I'm in the East Coast because my wife's cousin has a wedding, so I have to explain to this guy. I unfortunately I'm on the East Coast myself, but can we Zoom? And so we have a Zoom meeting, and then we hit it off great. Yeah, because he's got this kid, and he's talking about I've got to pick up my kid, and I go, oh yeah, because we moved into your neighborhood because we need to go to Westwood Charter. And he goes, oh yeah, we're looking at Westwood Charter, and they were really good, but we went to this, and so we're having this bonding experience over kids, and just and then he goes, oh, tell me about Caravaggio. And we had this long discussion, and he goes, hey, when you come back in town, we gotta have a meeting. And then so we talk, and I tell my wife this guy's name. And she goes, oh, I had lunch with him last year at a mixer because he was looking for a family lawyer for referrals. And yeah, he was this really nice guy. I told him about my kooky husband, and he was saying how he wish he could have been in the movie industry, but he got into entertainment law. And it's just this is how people know each other in the business. So it's personal relationships. Anyway, so this goes back and forth, and I'm going, wow, could this be more perfect? So so everything is going swimmingly, and I send the pitch, and I'm going, so he says, so what do you think? Where's this going? I was like, well, I'd love if this got to Ridley Scott Productions, but I know the head of development is in Santa Monica. I don't know her, but here's her contact information. He goes, oh yeah, send me that, send me the graphic novel, and he says, but it's a screenplay. Send me the screenplay, and I'll send you the contract and whatever. And I go, so do I need to sign a retainer agreement? He goes, we'll worry about that later. So I'm going, Jesus, how much luck can a guy have?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting around. It's just and so I email him. I send him everything, and I go, "Hey, just do me a favor. So just when you can, just can you BCC me on the thing, or CC me just so I keep track of when it went out, and just and he goes, yeah, sure. So a couple weeks go by, and I haven't heard anything, and so I just sent out a tickler here, and he goes, oh, sorry, it's just like, as it happens, I'm really busy because I was traveling just before my boss was, and so I got a lot of fires to put out, but I'll be right back to you. Another week goes by, and it's like same thing, and just like another week goes by, and it's like, and so I'm like, so I got other folks I kind of like want to send feelers out to, so maybe it's a good idea to send a couple things out to, so I shoot some ideas by them. I kind of like sometimes I hear something tepid, sometimes I don't, and just like now I'm thinking, I need a publicist because something's going to happen, and just like, and who knows who the hell I am, and I gotta have a website. My website looks like shit, so I gotta hire a web designer and to get my stuff together, and so I'm laying out all this cash and getting all this stuff together, and I still haven't paid this guy's retainer, and it's just like one of the top law firms. My wife isn't cheap, and she's just family law, so I gotta gather together the bucks for this guy, and but you gotta make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs, right? So I'm waiting for all this stuff, and so I made an email to introduce my publicist to my entertainment lawyer. So just like, so in the future, you're going to deal with I'm going to introduce my publicist and whatever. And by the way, the day I put this guy on my IMDb profile, my IMDb Internet Movie Database, for those tuning in, that's where people look you up in the industry to see who the hell this guy is. It shot up like $300,000 points, because that's how weighty this law firm is. And I didn't announce it or anything, and I wouldn't presume to do that, because if they land somebody big on their website, they announce that.
Yeah.
It's not up to me to announce that I have, but I just put it up on my IMDb. It's not my place to do a press release. That's their job. So that happens, and now I'm getting these LinkedIn requests, and there's stuff happening but so I write this thing, and then the last part of the email is just don't bother trying to contact him now, because as it happens, I only get a response one out of 5 emails, haha, and then and then I send it off, and I really meant no offense by it, but he emails me back, and he goes, yeah, I really didn't appreciate that, and I don't think I'm the lawyer for you.
What?
And I said, yeah, gee, I really didn't mean anything by that. It was just a little joke between me and my publicist. And by the way, there was nothing untrue about about what I said. But he took offense. And I said, listen, I understand completely. If by the end of the day, I'd like you to reconsider. If by the end of the day I haven't heard anything about you, I'll take you off my IMDb and stuff like that. But you're the head of your entertainment division really liked my pitch deck, and I think it's got a good history. I think it's got legs, and I really, if I'm new to this level of the business, and I can really use your advice, and I wouldn't dream of doing anything you wouldn't advise me to. So so I kissed his ass, whatever. But and then he wrote me back, and he goes, no, I think our relationship is over. But the good news is the query we sent out got bounced back from their server, So that at least you can approach Ridley Scott now with a clean slate. And then that was it. And this is like 3.5 weeks later. And that ended. I'm going, wait. That was 3.5 weeks ago. And now you tell me that the query got bounced back? So when was this guy from this top law firm going to tell me that? And what did he tell his boss? And is this how business is done at one of the top 5 Hollywood law firms?
Yeah.
And it kind of like threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
And left me scrambling for another law firm. And so I got a referral from a friend. And they agreed. And so I found someone who had a history with Marvel Entertainment and who promoted another indie film that did really well at Toronto. And she seemed she was willing to rep me. But then again, I got kind of the less than enthusiastic reception, and then so finally this thing happened with Chad Stahelski, and so I went to a guy at the writers group who was at the reading, who has done lots of stuff in animation, gotten produced, and I'm going to me, there's something happening here. I don't know, but if you have any advice to give me, and he was a real pal, Tom Tartanowitz, and he's been involved in a lot of animation things. He's a biker, mutant biker mice from Mars. And,
okay.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Yeah, He-Man and Fat Albert back in the day, and so he's had some really impressive things produced, though in animation. So he let me on to his lawyer, who I will shout out, Alan Kashirer, who is just like a walking masterclass in how the industry works. And I go, Alan, you are the guy I've been waiting for, because I had no idea what the hell was going on, and nobody would talk to me, and nobody would tell me what was going on. And he goes, oh, just you just have to know, what these people are looking for, and what doors not to, and what not to presume at slow. And so, I mean, every call with him is an education.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you the value of friends who are willing to share what they know.
Yeah.
And and it's just like what happens here, and it happens with Jim Lujan and Bill Plimpton, and with you guys in the industry, and other indie people and people in the comic book industry, and what happened with me and Neil Adams. People who are willing to help, and what I call the rising tide effect, the rising tide that lifts all boats.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When people share their information and their knowledge. And that's what happens, with me and Zach, because, Zach's been in this industry a long time, and yet we still have a lot to learn from each other.
Yeah.
Every single step of the way. And so here we are. And now, so Chad Stahelski is back in Scotland. It's gonna be another 4 to 6 months before Highlander wraps. And
I didn't even know about this Highlander, but I'm a big fan.
I didn't either. I'm so excited about it.
Hopefully they do a good job. And if it's I mean, if it's connected to the whole, with John Wick director, then I'm pretty psyched about it.
I'm so down. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be spectacular. And I think Henry, I mean, because God, what is from The Witcher show,
Cavill, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. And now that he's got his physical chops back, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and you can go on YouTube and see how even with his legs immobilized in a cast, he's still working out.
Yeah.
So any possible angle they can get him on in a shot, what a trooper this guy is. If they have to move him in a shot, I mean, this guy's got to be in pain. But come the cue, and he is just like in character and in it. And then it's going to be well, it's going to be awesome. And I have no doubts that this franchise is going to be just as amazing.
Yeah.
But when this is done, there's going to be a window.
Yeah.
Where something about the size of the next biggest hit can be shot. And if you look at IMDb and 8711, the production company, you'll see a lot of things that Chad's attached to with Lionsgate's backing. And you won't see this project in there yet, because it's up to us, the little guys, to go out there and get that anchor funding and the attachments. And once we've done our due diligence and given Chad the ammunition, he can hopefully maybe go to Lionsgate or another distributor and say, this is and we paid for the full budget breakdown. So I mean, there's just add water necessary for this thing to go. And if we can get Lin-Manuel Miranda, or a like talent, as if there could be somebody as multi-talented, to sign on board, or just letter of interest, and we've got some other talent, and see, this is the whole dicey game. You can't really attach too many people on, because you don't know which distributor has which favored relationships with which people. So the lowest hanging fruit and the person who can pick up the phone and say, Chad, what the hell's going on, is Lin-Manuel Miranda. So we're hoping that secret sauce will happen. And so with enough ammunition going into EFM, and maybe we can get something going even before then, this could conceivably happen. Or I'll have a very entertaining Starbucks story. From this point.
That's pretty amazing. I love how things always kind of work in really weird ways, and this definitely has the telltale signs of something that might actually happen, because a lot of weird things like that I've noticed in my own life, and I've talked to Jim about this too, where it's like just weird stuff. Like one time where I just tweeted out, like, I don't know, I'm going to self-publish this book. And then a friend of mine hooked me up with a writer's rep. And it's like, dude, I've been trying to get a writer's rep for years, and before you know it, they're calling me. And I was like, what, how does that even happen? And then it's like, oh, I guess that is how things happen. It's just, you don't see them happening that way. So there's so many stories that are in this that are kind of like those little moments that I really do. That's really exciting, Ken. That's super exciting. I'm excited to hear about it.
And actually, there's this one little stumbling block that maybe someone in your audience can help me out with, because like as I mentioned, I've got graphic novels in the queue, and one thing that's constipating my publishing throughput is that the lowest possible hanging fruit I have is that I've got all the masters for Caravaggio to publish in different languages myself, because like I have the Italian publisher, I've got the UK publisher for English. The rest of the markets, like Spanish and German and Portuguese, they're fairly substantial, but it really doesn't make sense for me to go out and look for someone to shelve and then split the profits. The only exception would be the France and Belgium market, which is a market that actually treats graphic novels as literature.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. French cartoonists are living it up. I saw a billboard ad or something from when Blankets came out, where it was Craig Thompson doing like a fashion ad in France, because that's how cartoonists are treated there, and I'm like, that's insane. Like, that's insane. Yeah. I just can't envision a world like that. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a great tradition, because I mean, their tradition, like the British tradition of going from magazines to pulp to books, from everything from Edgar Rice Burroughs to Conan Doyle, that's the literary path that graphic novels have traveled in France and Belgium.
Yeah,
they've taken the literary path, where in every other country they've taken the cartoon. They've taken the cartoon and storybook path.
Yeah.
To popularity. So that's the only other market it would make sense for me to approach.
Yeah, I agree.
To split. But every other market, it would just behoove me to self-publish. And to that end, before I publish anything new, I want to get the publishing software that will balloon and text and do the tales and paginate in a way that will allow me to streamline the process of just getting a translator to translate, and then allow me to more easily adapt to each language and then publish myself. Because right now what I do is I go in Adobe Illustrator and I go page by page by page.
Yeah.
Layer by layer, balloon to tail layer. And if there's an outline, I've got an outline layer and a tail layer, and just multiple, and then I got to resize everything. And it's just a huge pain in the ass. And Adobe InDesign is totally inadequate to any publishing task.
Yeah, it's pretty much good for inserting images or if you're doing like set text. But it's like for cartooning, there was one person, Scott, that we had on who I can't remember which cartoonist, but they used InDesign and tails and stuff in InDesign.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But I haven't met too many cartoonists who do that, because that just sounds harder than doing it in Illustrator to me.
Yeah. But there must be somebody out there in our land, who has some more streamlined process where I can give where I can give them, the nice thing about being old and handling your own investments is that at least I have capital to hire people to do that.
Yeah.
And I would be happy to hire someone.
Is it beyond? But it's beyond just a typical letterer, because I mean I've hired letterers and stuff like that, but you need like basically somebody that can translate it.
So I would have the translation text. So it would have to be some automated process where the translated text comes in. Oh yeah, you have a Monkey Mod T-shirt. That's cool. I have.
Oh
one of
yeah.
Whereby there's some semi-automatic process where
you can like batch script it almost, right? Is what you're kind of thinking.
The new language comes in to replace the old language, and the balloon automatically resizes. Now, of course, English is a fairly concise language, so the new balloon will probably be bigger, and so you have to tweak it a little bit. And then, of course, there's German, which you would have to re-engineer anyway.
Right.
But for the most part, like going from English to Spanish wouldn't be that hard. English to French, probably not that hard. English to German, I don't believe that there would be a because there are a few things that I do in my lettering that I would like to keep consistent. Like, for example, I use as little punctuation as possible. I don't end my paragraphs in a period because it's in a balloon. When the words run out, the paragraph's over. So I don't use hyphens because it's sloppy. Again, it's in a balloon. In German, you would have to because words are this long.
Yeah.
If there's a complete sentence thought, I would rather use two balloons than have a big hanging element that's bigger than any of the graphics in the panel. It just aesthetically it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that 100%. Orphans and widows too. Avoid orphans and widows if you're out there. And I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the text. Don't leave stray orphan text just to fit in your balloon out there. Yeah, don't do it. I know you want to because it's going to make it just reorient your paragraph. So you at least have two words at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
Just out there. That's a graphic design nerd thing. Because Scott knows what I'm talking about. Scott, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have my own little conventions on that. But there has to be some more automated process than certainly what I do, and I'm sure there's someone who has this down, and I'm willing to pay the premium.
Yeah.
To throw my stuff at them and have them do it for me.
Yeah. So anyone out there watching now or after the fact, hit. If you can contact Ken direct. His information, his website is in the link in the description. Plus, it's under his name there, just kenmora.com. So reach out to and find his email. I assume they can email you directly from there. Yeah, absolutely. Because
guys, a lettering gig is a pretty cool gig. So I mean, you should look into it. If you guys are out there and you're savvy with that, hit Ken up. That's cool.
And also there's another politically speaking, I think we're all on the same page with in our political leaning views. There's this whole travesty happening in Ukraine. The Ukrainian and the Russian language market and the Slavic language market is a tiny fraction of the overall comic market, and it's not at all served. And one, I mean, it's barely served. And to give up, for an artist to give up that share of the market would be inconsequential. And my idea is this: if every comic book artist volunteered that market with their IP to a Ukrainian outfit that either supports Ukrainian veterans or Ukrainian civilians' efforts to support Ukrainian and Russian language publications that would benefit these Ukrainian charities, many of which are 501c3, be a tax benefit, then it would be no skin off the authors and artists' back, and these Ukrainian organizations would benefit from that tiny bit of the revenue, and it would go to buying generators, feeding orphan kids, buying prosthetic limbs for Ukrainian vets. And I would like to organize that. I just need to find the Ukrainian publisher that
Right.
would, accept that copyright and pledge to, donate to those organizations. And I would certainly, donate all my Slavic and Ukrainian and Russian version proceeds to that.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, you have the way the whole YouTube thing works. I mean, you've got a lot of people watching, and some people comment, but there's a lot of people that don't, and there's people who just like to watch. So who knows who's out there watching that might be able to help out. So
and I would be thrilled to see my comic in the hands of a guy in a bunker.
Oh yeah,
who wouldn't? I mean,
that'd be
anything to cheer those guys up for their. I mean, they're really on the front lines of defending Western civilization at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, in weird and just surreal, like World War I type conditions. So yeah, for sure, that would be a great cause. Yeah. That is a wild ride of a story, Ken. How are you doing with the whole roller coaster of it?
It's kind of a challenge. I like many more people, and the DSM diagnostic. Some sort of diagnostic service.
I don't know what the DSM stands for, but I know what the DSM is. I just don't know. I actually don't know what the acronym's for.
Yeah,
I should look that up.
My wife, in addition to being a family lawyer, also has an MFT degree, so she could tell us. But so many people are being diagnosed at my age, including Dan Warren, the voice actor, who's on his signing tours at Comic-Cons and stuff like that. He's in Naruto and Bleach and a lot of anime. And he also does books on tape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He always has an ADHD component in his presentations because he was diagnosed right around the same time I was, just coincidentally. There's so many people that have it. It's impossible to call it a disorder.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if well over 30% of the population has it, then it's just another mode of being, really.
Yeah.
So, and I have my own theories on how, in the post-industrial age, we've come to define what is maximally functional as normal, and what are practical ways of being, but not so practical in the industrial age as being dysfunctional.
I actually like that angle there. Yeah. I would kind of agree with you. Yeah, I definitely I think it's interesting too, because it's like there's a lot of neurodivergence in the fields we work in, like for sure. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I have a YouTube channel coming up. It's called Ken Mora _creates.
I love it.
My first interviewee in a few weeks, and I'll have a specific date. I have someone editing my first interview. It'll be Jim Thompson, who's a comic book historian, Eisner judge, Comic Book Hall of Fame, I guess curator. We're going to be talking about the Skirball exhibit with Jack Kirby. It's on through March.
Oh, so exciting! I still haven't gone. I still haven't gone to it. Yeah, I need to.
It's well worth it, and and of course because I made HD, we ramble all over the place, but he does a good job of keeping us in line. But so the focus of my show is talking to creatives about the struggle, the constant struggle and the challenge of living the creative life.
I love it.
Because it ain't easy.
Awesome.
No, I love that.
When you drop that video, Ken, if you can remember, just throw it in the messenger so I have a chance to check it out. Yeah,
cool. And also, so coming up are Christina Wong, the Nobel Prize finalist, Nick Yoffe, Axe Smith, to rock and roll royalty, Will Keenan, Trauma Cult, superstar, actor and producer, Bill Plimpton and Sinya Bauman, animators, and a wide variety of oddball creators. So
love it,
including you guys who are not going to get away. So
I definitely want in. Honestly, if you're getting YouTube anything going, I'm down. That sounds incredible, and I do think that's a great topic too. I might be really warm to it right now because I'm in crunch time, getting the last little week worth of comic pages done, and the sleep is just declining. So I definitely am feeling that right now. That as a topic. But I love I love that you're repping neurodivergence too, because like I know Scott is also on the ADHD, I believe, right? Scott, I'm not speaking out of turn saying that. And then
diagnosed when I was a kid.
And then I'm sincerely pretty convinced that I'm pretty darned autistic. Having an autistic son and then reading everything about it and talking to my wife about, well, what's weird about this? And she's, like we've kind of started realizing, I'm like probably really heavily on the spectrum, which also explains the rambliness and stuff. But I mean, how else are we supposed to micro focus on these things we're obsessed with that make no money?
Exactly.
It's like, what else is gonna make us do these things?
Something's got to be driving us, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll take a world of neurodivergence over like boring neurotypical, like, hey, did you see the game? I even like watching, like, I just got into baseball again and I've been enjoying watching baseball and stuff. But if that was my life and that's every conversation I had, I'd be really depressed. So I don't know. I prefer, people taking their shot, making stuff. And I think those people are usually a little strange. We're strange people. Ken, I'm so excited about all of those potentials,
And don't forget your Wax House stickers.
Yes.
Definitely. I will mention those. I guess right now we'll do we'll close it out, and we'll start with you, Ken. Again, let everyone know where they can find your stuff online.
Okay. So kenmora.com is stuff Ken Mora Central, and Amazon's the easiest place to find Caravaggio Light Before the Darkness, And if you happen to be in Berlin at European Film Market, as one is wont to be, come look me up, and then I will probably be at Comic-Con Napoli 26, depending on how crazy things get. So
that's so exciting.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, Josh, what about you?
Definitely check out Caravaggio. It's a great book. I met Ken through Jim. We had like a little meetup that I actually kind of miss. We kind of had to stop doing it during COVID, but we might have to spark something like that up again.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to do Cantor's Deli one of these days soon.
Yeah, it'd be fun to get that going again. I just think it's
jealous.
Yeah, it's just funny because it's like COVID kind of put everything in chaos and stuff. But that was such a great meetup. But I met Ken through there, and then we of course like exchange books and stuff like that. And there's always this thing when you're in the LA area where when somebody gives you their book or something like that, you're just like, there's a secret fear that it's gonna suck, and you're like, oh, what do I do if? And I read it, and I was so overjoyed because it's a brilliant piece of work, and Ken is really trying to do like serious art and also some fun and entertaining stuff too, but really serious art in the medium and push it forward. And Caravaggio is a great book, so you guys should check that out. Check out Ken's stuff. But once you're done with that, make sure you pre-order Not Death But Love: The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. That's going to be the second best historical fiction graphic novel next to Caravaggio out there about Elizabeth Barrett Browning. These letters that my sister and I, mostly my sister, found that talk about her experiences delving into seances, trying to contact her dead brother. There's magicians, there's intrigue, there's suspense, and there's seances, and it's all like all the stuff that seems like fiction is fact, which is kind of the cool thing about historical fiction. The stuff we made up was just to fill little holes that didn't make sense, that no one knows. So anyway, check that book out, and check out Two Stories and Jacob's Apartment. And then after that, go get yourself some Wax House cards, and also Scott has been dropping collab videos with Kevin Cross. They're incredible. And then also Scott just dropped some Hip Optimus Rhyme stuff. So Scott, where can people check out all these beautiful videos you have going?
Yeah,
including the beautiful cover you did for Hip Optimus Rhyme.
Yeah, so I've been pretty busy, but so as far as things I've got right now, Young and the Dead, Kids vs. Zombie Adventure Story. That is my completed graphic novel. It's basically Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead. You can check that out now. And as Josh mentioned, I am starting a new comic book series, and I plan to take everyone on the journey, figuring out what it's going to be, and I'll be very public about it. That'll be on my website. This actual website that you're watching, this YouTube channel that you're watching now. And like Josh said, I just put out I got a couple videos showing the process of me creating the cover for that book. So I'm super excited about it. Definitely check those out. And on my other YouTube channel, Retro Art Lab, check that out because that's where I'm doing the collab with Kevin Cross. This guy, the creator of This Guy Monkey Mod. We're just doing this really cool. Oh yeah, I've got it right here. So we're creating this mock cereal, Sugar Kooks. Kevin did the illustration for it. I did the graphic design, and we're creating the prizes and the little mail away offers and all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check those out. Those are super fun videos.
Yes,
Kevin's just amazing at storytelling with his videos, and I'm trying to step up my game with what I'm doing just to match his energy. So we're really happy with the way these videos are coming out. So you definitely got to check those out if you haven't already seen those. Other than that, this show we do, like I said, keep paying attention because we're coming up on that 500th episode, and I gotta get on the ball and figure out what exactly we're gonna do for that. But anyway, whatever it is, hopefully it'll be something pretty big, because that's pretty monumental. We've been doing this for a while, and I don't think we have any plans to stop. So definitely keep watching the show. And in order to find out when we're dropping a new episode or whatever, because it is kind of weird, because it kind of bounces back between Josh's channel and my own, the way we do this live stream. The easiest way to find out whose channel is going to be on, who the guest is going to be on, all that kind of stuff, is just to join our mailing list. There's a link in the description of this video. We don't spam you or anything. The only time we send out an email is pretty much like 30 minutes or more before we're about to go live, just to let you guys know that we are going live. So YouTube doesn't always notify people, so that's why we set that up. So definitely check that out. Other than that, I just want to thank everyone in the chat for just being with us on the show and listening to Ken's incredible story. So
that was an amazing story. Yeah.
So yeah, and we will see everyone next week. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I'm not even ready yet. Okay, let's see. Okay, we'll see you guys.
All right, cool.
Bye.
Take care.